That's the latest. I'm Anna Bates.
Thank you, Anna. 2 minutes past 12. Should we take a look at this afternoon's weather? I think we should. A cloudy afternoon with outbreaks of rain. Some of that rain may be heavy in places. The only consolation about today is that it's wham. 16 degrees Celsius is today's top temperature, which is 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight the rain will clear away and then we're in for a dry and fairly clear night with a low of 8 degrees Celsius. And looking ahead to tomorrow, well, a cloudy day with outbreaks of rain. They will be light in nature, however, and a top temperature tomorrow of 14 degrees Celsius. And that is the weather for Wrexham. And of course, the thing that made Status Quo so distinctive was that that 3-chord sequence, and you just knew that it was Status Quo. Great stuff. That's called What You're Proposing. 6 minutes past 12. Welcome to the Community and Charity Focus. It's Dave with you until 1 o'clock this afternoon. Lovely to be with you, as always. The weather is rubbish, but hey, do we care? No, of course we don't care, because we've got great music and we have lovely guests as well. And our purpose through a very, very mad world is to just make you smile and hopefully make you giggle. And boy, can we make you giggle. This afternoon, I'm so pleased to be joined by Rebecca Snowden. And Rebecca very kindly stepped into the breach yesterday, and so glad that she is here. Afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing okay, thanks.
Good stuff. So let's go back, say, 36 hours or so. You didn't know at that point that you were going to be on the radio, and then you got a message from Andy Snowden saying, is there any chance that you might like to be on Dave's show tomorrow? What did you think?
Well, I was like, oh God, I've got nothing to do tomorrow, I hope. So, yeah, so then I got very excited.
Oh, good stuff. Well, it's lovely to have you with us. So, little things that we can talk about. You are a tap dancing teacher at the Shirley School of Dance.
Yes.
In Harden. Also done lots of things with drama. Received a distinction in your teacher's exam, which you must be really proud of.
Yes, very proud of that.
Also a member of Theatre Clwyd's Company 25, which we can talk about as well. Works at Kutch Ceramics in Rossett. Gosh, is there anything that you don't do?
Breathe.
And also went to College Cambria as well. Okay, where should we start? Okay, let's start with your love of drama. So, was this ever since you were teeny tiny? Have you always loved to dance, act, sing, whatever?
Yeah, so I've grown up in quite a performing arty kind of family. And so, like my parents, they were both actors, and like my brother and my sister, very musical as well. And like I grew up learning the piano, learning to sing, things like that. So, yeah, so I've grown up in that kind of environment, and I did shows every year at Theatre Clwyd. And so, like, the stage has never felt unnatural. Like, a lot of people feel like it's quite a scary place to be. But I've always found it quite calming and quite nice to be performing in front of people. But I think the moment I really enjoyed it was when I was in primary school and we did the Christmas Nativity. And I was like, I want to be Mary.
Oh.
Didn't get Mary, mind you. I think I was a census counter.
So you and I share something in common here. So many years ago, I went to a school for the blind in Liverpool. Some of my listeners will know that, some of them won't. But I went to a school for the blind in Liverpool, and we did a Christmas carol, and everyone was thinking, right, you know, you're the shepherd, you're whatever, you're Tiny Tim, you're Scrooge. What can Dave do? And I ended up being the narrator. So I narrated the whole thing, which I really loved. So, you know, I've done that as well.
Yeah.
So what can you remember about, you know, doing Christmas Nativity?
Well, I don't even know. I just remember that that first kind of taste of performing. And because like when I was in primary school, like the whole aim of a nativity was to make people laugh and to be that kind of comedic character, and like the parents of all like the other kids in the school finding you quite funny. it was quite nice to have that reaction from people. And I think that was the moment that I knew that was what I wanted to do.
So then to go from that and sort of go on stage professionally,
yes,
as it were, how did you come to make the jump from that to them being, you know, involved with Theatre Clwyd and Company 25 and all that business?
Yes, so when I found out about Company 25, I was doing Mould Riots with Theatre Clwyd. So Mould Riots was something that was advertised around the theatre. So I used to go to the Theatre Clwyd quite a lot just to watch plays. And then I'd see like little leaflets about this Mould Riots thing. And it was like, ooh, what's that about? And all it was a professional show in every sense of the word, except they were using community cast and they were using the community within all aspects. So wardrobe, backstage, like stage management, and the cast and everything was all community, but it had professional aspects thrown into it. And that was just something that's pretty much unheard of in like community theatre. Like usually like people will have a community theatre group and they'll do a play, and that's brilliant. That's a brilliant opportunity to have. But to be able to work with professional directors and professional stage managers, professional actors, people who have been in the industry for a while, it was so enlightening to be able to do that. And then Company 25 came through Mould Riots because I was like, I can't stop working with Theatre Clwyd. It's brilliant. I love it here so much. Yeah. And somebody said, well, we've got a youth theatre if you want to join that. And I was like, yes, I will be there.
So even to this day, I mean, you are still a member of said theatre?
Yes,
yeah?
Yes.
And love it as much now as you did all those years ago?
Yeah, it's even more so because a lot of youth theatres will just give you plays to do, and that's brilliant. Yeah. But Theatre Clwyd do this thing with their companies, and every week you will learn a new skill, and it's not just about doing a play, it's about developing you as a performer, as an actor, and just as a person. And so that's probably even more so, like, strengthened the love of theatre that I had.
Good stuff. Later on with Rebecca, we'll talk about Cwtch Ceramics. She's also a member of the Welsh Youth Choir as well. And we will talk about the fantastic 150 songs in 150 days, which Rebecca and Janet and Andy and probably other family members did to get us all through lockdown. So we'll talk about that. And Rebecca has also picked some songs as well. First song that you've picked, it's just a 90s memory. So are you a bit of a 90s person? Did you like that decade for music?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. It's brilliant.
What else did you what else about that decade do you think, it was fab, Well,
it was just so, I don't even know, it's like every song that came out of the 90s was just a bop.
Yeah, it was. And if it wasn't a bop, it was Britpop, because of course it was also the decade of Blur and Oasis. So were you into or are you into all that Britpop stuff?
Yeah, definitely.
Who was your favourite, Blur or Oasis?
Oasis.
Okay, well, we'll play some Oasis a bit later. We'll get some Blur on as well. But first of all, taking you back to the 1990s when I was in Lancaster University and having an absolute ball. This song from the Backstreet Boys. Do you remember Everybody? We will keep that 90s theme going throughout the show. That was the Backstreet Boys and Everybody. Talking to Rebecca Snowden today about just her life, because, there is so much that Rebecca has done. It's absolutely amazing. Let me say hello to Janet as well. Janet Snowden, who was on a few weeks ago talking about Weight Watchers. That was lovely. It's lovely to have her on, Rebecca. It was really nice. And had Andy on quite a few years ago when he was talking about the Music Machine, and I'm sure we'll get him on again in the very near future. In fact, he may be a Zoom guest with me in the next few weeks when we're all back in lockdown. We'll see how he feels about that. Okay, where should we go next? I know. The Shirley School of Dance in Harden, because you're a dance teacher there. How did this all happen?
Yeah, so I became a dance teacher when basically a lot of the older students, when they become like in the older grades, they get asked to help out on their Saturday class with like the younger ones, like 3 to 4 ages. And I did that when I was about 16. So that built up and built up. And once you know what you're doing with all the kids and you know how to teach them and everything, you just kind of think, I might as well just kind of make this official. So about 2 years ago, I decided to start working towards my teacher's qualification in tap. And last February, the February just before lockdown, unfortunately, I've got my qualification in tap.
Isn't that wonderful? Do you love all styles of dance, or is tap your particular favourite?
Well, tap is my particular favourite, I'll give it that, but I love them all. Like, I find a lot of freedom in all of them somewhere. So
has the proliferation of TV programmes which are centred around, dancing, musicals, musical theatre, has that helped, do you think, to really increase the popularity of dance? I mean, we all knew it was popular before, but now it seems to be even more so.
Yeah, well, it always happens around about January, just after Strictly's ended, and people will go, oh, I just want my kids to start dancing. It's like, okay. Yeah, so it always happens around about when those dance shows kind of come to a close and they're like, I want my kid to dance.
So do you watch all of those? Because you almost have to because of what you do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Have you had an ambition to be on any of? In fact, I don't know. You may have even been on one of them, or if not, would you love to?
Well, it's all very different styles of dance than what I do, but I'm not a very competitive person, so competitive dance isn't really my style. But if any of my students said, I want to go on this dance show, I'd be like, I will help you all the way.
Yeah. And what's the age range, Rebecca, of students that go to the school?
So we have an age range of 3 to about 83 at the moment. So yeah, so it's basically 3's the youngest age, but there's no oldest age for them.
I mean, just from talking to you, you have done so much, so it keeps you busy. So I imagine that through lockdown, when a lot of us were feeling quite gloomy, actually were you feeling quite positive, because obviously you had so many irons in the fire, so many things that you could still do, I guess, even when you were at home.
Yeah, so when lockdown happened and everything kind of got stopped, for about a week or two, everything just kind of went, oh, what do I do now? Because like my very busy week went to nothing all in one. So I just went, what do I do? What do we do? And then, well, with the dancing, we started doing Zoom classes. So we started doing like freestyle, tap, fitness classes, so things we don't even usually do, like Zumba. We started doing those over Zoom. And then again with theatre came back via Zoom, because we all just kind of adapted really quickly to what we were supposed to do. So that empty week that I had for about a week came back and everything was back on top of each other, and I got to do everything again, which was brilliant.
And you're a Zoom expert.
Yes. Yeah.
Good stuff. Do you know, that might be your next calling?
Yeah.
To teach those people who just are not au fait with Zoom whatsoever. This is what you do. It is quite easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. Next, what we'll do is we'll play 2 songs. In between songs 1 and 2, we need to play some little announcements. So we'll do those. Then we'll come back and we'll talk about 150 songs in 150 days, which Rebecca and other family members did and had loads and loads of fun with. And we'll talk about Kutch Ceramics as well in Rossett, and also the fact that Rebecca is a member of the National Youth Choir. So still loads to talk about, but I did promise you more 90s tunes. Oh yes, we love our 90s. So first of 2 songs then comes from Blur. This is The Wonderful Park Life. Oasis and Roll With Me. I cannot hear myself. There we go, Oasis and Roll with me. Couldn't hear myself in my headphones, but there we go. Just gone 12:30. Dave and Rebecca with you until 1 o'clock this afternoon. Andy is producing as well. Talking of Andy Snowden, you can hear him this coming Saturday. I presume that he will be from his alternative studio, because of course from Saturday we can't do live shows from this very building, which is awfully sad. But obviously, given circumstances as they are at the moment, we have to try and make alternative arrangements. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks or so, after Friday's fine, Friday will be live as normal, but after Friday, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, you will hear me at some point during those next 2 weeks. Now, obviously, because things are different, I won't be able to give you specific times and days. So just keep an ear on the radio, and you may hear me pop up. Also, just keep an eye on my social media feeds as well. So Twitter and Facebook, and obviously I will update you as things happen. Okay, but Andy will be here on Saturday with the Stage and Screen show, as per usual, between 12 and 3 p.m. Okay, we'll talk about lockdown, 150 songs in 150 days very, very shortly. First of all, Rebecca, you're also a member of the National Youth Choir of Wales as well?
Yes, I am, yeah.
It's good to be in, enjoyable?
Yeah, it's brilliant choir to be part of. It sounds really, like whenever I tell anyone, they say, "Oh, that sounds like prestigious," and I'm like, well, not really. I'm in it. No, I'm only joking. It's great because it's just a group of 60 people, and it doesn't matter what school you went to, what you like whether you like sports as well as music. Everybody is just doing the same thing for a week. We're all as tired as each other, and it's just brilliant.
Do you sing sort of traditional choir type music, or do you sing a bit of everything from, sort of traditional Welsh songs to, a bit of Beatles and Beach Boys and Oasis and, Well, it all depends, really. It depends on who the conductor is that year. The conductor changes every single year. So the conductor that we had last year, Tim Rees-Evans, he chose a lot of different music. So we had a lot of, your classic quite choral pieces, like we did Amazing Grace, It Is Well With My Soul, like those kind of choral pieces. But then we also did Stevie Wonder, which was so we did a bit of everything, really. It's great. It's great, isn't it, to be able to do that mix and that breadth of music.
Yeah, and I also think it's really lovely for an audience as well. Like, I know for me, I love choral music and I love classical music, but sometimes it can get too much if that's all the concert is. But if you come out with a bit of Stevie Wonder or a bit of pop music done in a choral way, everyone's like, oh, wow. So yeah, I really enjoy it when it happens.
It's good. It is good to be able to do that. Okay, we'll do lockdown in 150 days in a second. We'll start to talk about that. First of all, I want you to do some hellos. So go on, who's listening? Who knows that you're on the radio at this very moment in time?
Well, I would like to say hello to the girls in Kutch Ceramics, Amy, Becca and Elle. They're working very hard whilst I'm having a lovely day off. And my mother, Janet, she's listening. Bethan, my sister, and my grandparents, Shirley and Fred, who run the dancing school that I work at. And also my gran, Irene.
Fabulous. Afternoon to everybody. Okay, so 150 songs in 150 days to entertain people and keep us all sane through the big lockdown, what I term as the big one. The one we're just about to have is a little teeny one compared to the 6 months that we had from March onwards. So you all decided as a family that you would try and think of as many songs as possible to entertain people with. So who sort of started it?
Well, it all started when I came home from work one day, and basically every time we're home as a family, we'll always do a bit of a sing-song live just to entertain people. And I finished work, my brother and my sister had come home from uni, and we just went, we'll do a song. And then the next day we were like, why don't we just keep this going? We'll just keep this going. So it was never really an idea that kind of formed, but it was just something we did, and then suddenly people were expecting it and sending requests, and it was, oh God, here we are.
And you pretty much did anything that people would ask for. I mean, provided that you were able to perform it, you would do it live on Facebook.
Yeah. Sometimes people were like, can you do Bohemian Rhapsody? And we were like,
We haven't got enough voices to sing.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. But if it was within our capabilities, we'd give it a good go.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, what we'll do is when we come back and talk in a minute, we'll continue talking about that. And then you've picked a song that you did while in lockdown. But first of all, another tune from the 90s. Oh, gee, I bet you remember this, Rebecca, from a Canadian band. As I recall, they could have been a one-hit wonder. They probably did have more hits than this, but this was the one that everybody seemed to know. From the Crash Test Dummies, this is just called The Crash Test Dummies, and a tune called which is what you say when you have a nice pizza, isn't it, Rebecca? You go very, very nice. Do you remember that song? Did you know that song?
I didn't, but I really liked it.
Yeah, it was a really, really strange song. And as I said, I think they probably that was the one that I think everybody knew. I think if you'd said, name me another one from the Crash Test Dummies, people would have gone, no, I haven't got a clue. So 150 songs in 150 days. Are they still up there? So if people missed it first time round, can people just go on Facebook, tap it into their search bar and hopefully find a few of the songs that they missed?
Well, if you're friends with my dad, just go onto his Facebook page, Andy Snowden, and they're all on there. But if you're not, if you go on YouTube and type in 150 songs, 150 days, it should come up there. We did like a little clip of each one and did like a compilation video of them.
Fantastic. In a strange sort of way, although it probably did herald the end of the first lockdown, which we all loved so much. In a strange way, was it sad when it had to come to an end? Because I guess you had so much fun doing it.
Well, yeah. Every day when I was in work, or if I was just driving along listening to the radio, I'd go, oh, we could do this oh, never mind. It took a while for us to go, oh no, we're not actually doing anything. It came to 8:00 and we were like, feel like I should be doing something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because a very musical family, very, very talented family. So I presume that you all play an instrument or instruments. So go on, what do you play?
Well, I play the flute and the piano, but within the context of 150 songs in 150 days, I stuck to the flute. My brother was the pianist.
So go on, name every. So there's yourself, there's Andy, there's Janet, there's Sam and Bethan.
Yeah, Bethan as well.
So you all took part.
Yes.
In this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you all loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a really nice thing to do. Like, occasionally we'd have the odd disagreement on a song, but you're doing something with your family, you're gonna have a disagreement, aren't you?
How did you resolve? Well, I don't want to do that. Well, I want to do that song. Okay, let's open it up to the world and see what. And if the world wants it, we'll do it. Is that how you did it?
Well, yeah, kind of. If it was a disagreement on how we should do something, it was usually my dad's decisions go. But usually it was just resolved.
Yeah.
Didn't take much.
What did people say, in terms of feedback? Because I guess that you lifted a heck of a lot of people's spirits. So what did they say about it?
Well, it was quite weird because at one point, I think it was about day 30, we just kind of went, do you think people are finding this annoying? Like, I wonder if people are finding it annoying. And like, as we carried it on, and people kept saying, like in the comments and things, oh, I hope you never stop doing this. It gets me through lockdown and all this. And then when we got to day 150 and we said we were going to stop, everyone was like, why are you stopping? And I was like, oh my gosh.
Was there any, I don't know perhaps if there was, but it would have been lovely. Was there any TV or, local press? Because it's the sort of thing in lockdown, when everybody was looking for a really positive story.
Yeah.
It was the sort of thing that, if I'd been a TV journalist or a news editor, you know, I would have jumped at the chance to give that national exposure. Yeah.
Yeah, we ended up in the Leader,
Yep.
in the Leader Live, and also in the paper itself,
Yeah.
which was a nice little claim to fame. I was like, oh, I'm in the paper.
Fantastic.
But yeah, we ended up there, but not much
But
further.
not much further.
No.
And the big question, before we play one of the songs that you did, big question is, on Friday, we are about to enter a little lockdownette, little mini one for 2 weeks. Are you going to do a little mini repeat of it, or?
I don't think we can.
No.
Because my brother, as I say, he was the piano player extraordinaire that we had. God, I can't believe I just told him that. He's in Manchester,
Oh.
so we can't do it without him, unfortunately.
Oh, well, you'll have to do, hopefully when things are better at Christmas,
Yeah.
you perhaps have to do a Christmas version.
Yeah, Christmas edition of
And
it.
what you can do, you can get people and say, right, what's your favourite Christmas song ever?
Yeah.
And you can see if you can do, you know, you might end up doing Merry Christmas Everybody on the flute or something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I might have started something. Right, in a minute we'll talk with Rebecca. We'll talk about Kutch Ceramics because we haven't been there yet, so we'll do that very, very shortly. First of all, bringing back those wonderful memories of 150 songs in 150 days during the big, big lockdown. Let's play you Queen and Somebody to Love. 9 minutes to 1 already. Flipping heck, where's the time gone? It's gone really, really fast. Oh, do you know, that's the only thing about doing these shows is they go way, way too fast. Talking to Rebecca Snowden today, it's been a real pleasure. Have you enjoyed it?
Yes, definitely.
Will you come back?
Only if you'll have me.
Oh, of course I'll have you. I would love you to come back. Okay, the one thing we haven't mentioned, and we should, because we know that they are all listening, you also work at Kutch Ceramics
Yes.
in Rossett. Now, for people that have perhaps never been in before, what does Kutch Ceramics sell and do?
So we are a cafe, but the main primary thing we do is we're a pottery painting kind of establishment. And so basically you can come in, it doesn't matter how old you are, you come in and you choose a piece of pottery. There's no price for it, it's just the price of the pottery that you choose, and you can just paint them. Yeah.
And you needn't have been able to paint before, so complete beginner. Would you get taught how to do it as well?
Well, we have different things available. So we've got stencils and things, so you can sketch things. But yeah, if you want help, that's absolutely fine. You can just ask someone, and they'll give you a hand. But yeah, you don't need any kind of experience to do it at all. No.
Lovely. Okay, and you've got a rather nice cafe there as well.
Yeah.
So people can pop in for a brew and a piece of cake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we go back into this 2-week lockdown, as far as Kutch is concerned, I guess they will have to close their doors, will they, for a bit?
Yeah, in a sense of the word. So we're closing inside and you can't come in. We can't serve you drinks like we would usually,
No.
but we're going back to takeaway. So you can come in, you can ring up, order some takeaway food if you want. But we're also doing hampers, so you can have... we'll put together paint packs for you to take home. So it'll have your paintbrushes, your palettes and everything, and a piece of pottery as well, and you can take that home and do it at home.
Do you want to say hello to a few people? So who runs Kutch? Start off.
Jules Roberts.
Yep.
She's our manager. She looks after us all, makes sure we're all working hard. And then the girls that I work with, so there's Amy, Becca and Elle. And yeah, so I work with them in the week. And then there's some girls who come in at the weekend who I don't really work with as much anymore, but they work just as hard as everyone else as well.
And they're in Rossett. I think it's on Station Road. Is that right? In Rossett?
In Rossett, yeah, it's just opposite the Golden Lion.
Yeah, we know where you are. Offhand, have you got the phone number? Can we do the phone number?
Yes. So the phone number for us is 01244 570 781.
01244 570 781. 01244 570 781. Rebecca, it's been such a good show. Thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I hope it will be the first of many. And listen, keep safe through the next lockdown. You'll be fine.
Oh, you too.
You'll be absolutely fine, and we'll see you very soon. What's the plans for the rest of the day? Have you got any, or are you just going to see where the day takes you?
I am going to take the day as it comes, see what happens.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
Rebecca, thank you. Listen, give everyone my love back at home.
Oh, I will do.
And we will see you very, very soon. Take care. Have a fab day.
Okay, bye
All
now.
right. Cheers. Bye. Rebecca Snowden, who has just done so much and just continues to do so much. Absolutely wonderful. And it's been a pleasure to have her on. And as I said, we will get her back on in the very, very near future. In fact, here's a promise. We'll get you back on, Rebecca, before the end of the year, and we can do a Christmas show together, hopefully, and you can get to pick some of your favourite Christmas songs, and we'll get them on for you. We'll do that, hopefully, before the end of the year. So that's it from me for another group of shows. Thank you to you for listening. Thank you to Andy for producing this afternoon. Thank you to Amy, who did the honours this morning. Thank you to my guests. So thank you to Rebecca. Thank you to Helen Conway from Bodywork Pilates, who was my guest this morning. And guess what? We do it all again on Thursday. Joining me on Thursday is Meg Byrne. Meg has been in before to talk about various things. This time, she's going to talk about a beauty pageant called Miss Voluptuous, if I can say it. So we'll talk about that with Meg between 9 and 10 on Thursday. And then on Friday, we're going to talk about sewing. But so many of you might actually sew something when we're all indisposed for 2 weeks. So a lady that does love sewing is a lady called Jenny Thomas, and she runs her own business called Renew Socials. Socials as in SEWCIALS. So a play on the word sew. So Jenny Thomas from Renew Socials, she will be on the programme with me on Friday between 9 and 10. So if you can join me for Thursday and for Friday, I would love the pleasure of your company. In the meantime, take care, stay safe, and stay tuned to Calon FM. And taking you back, well, 2008, this song was very, very special for us back in 2008 because it heralded the start of your very own community radio station. So at midday on the 1st of March 2008, which of course was St. David's Day, that was when we launched, there were about 30 people or so in our reception as the ribbon was cut and the champagne corks popped, and they heralded the launch of Calon FM. This is the song that started it all off from Take That. This is Shine.